is this is 1.3, critiquing data. So in the example below, Bindi recorded the scores for 2 grade 8 classes that wrote the same test. Class A, which was 32 students, and Class B, which was 27 students. She decided to display the data on 2 circle graphs. Class A test scores are located on the left-hand side, and Class B students are located on the right-hand side, right here. So we've got to critique these 2 graphs. So why do you think Bindi used 2 circle graphs to display the data? The most logical explanation is because she wanted to compare both of them to the whole, to 1% or to 100%. So she wanted to compare these 32 students to these 32 students in the best way possible. It's very difficult to compare 32 to 27 unless you make them percents, and then you can very easily compare them. The graphs can be misleading because they have different numbers, so they can be considered misleading because, you know, this one where it says 40% over here, and then it has 48% over here, which are the same numbers. So when you go over here and you look at 13 right here and then 13 right with over here, 13% on, or 13, sorry, students both got the same mark, but on one graph it's 70 to 4, it's 40%, and in the other graph it's 48%. So that could be a little bit misleading as well. You can also compare the 60 to 69, which is 16 in this graph, and 50 to 59, which was, sorry, it's 11% in this graph, and then it's where 9% in this graph. So there is some discrepancies between the both of them, and you can't use them to look at individual numbers, but it is better to compare them as a whole. So 2 conclusions that you can make based on this graph. I would say that the most frequent grade in both classes, or in Class A, would be the 70 to 79, and the most frequent in Class B would be 80 to 89. I would, you know, those would be my 2 conclusion based on these graphs. So to draw a double bar graph based on these, or to display this data, you can see it below, where we can compare them both to each other side by side. This is 2 sets of data side by side, as you can see below. So please draw, or do the show you know on page 30 in your notebooks, and show that to